I really like this one. Tesla's new predictive charger availability will display how many vehicles are en route to the selected supercharger. For example, here you can see that 2 cars are coming there. This will improve the charging experience even further. Oh, Tesla now reveals everything that affects its range calculation. There has been some controversy earlier this year about Tesla supposedly showing you fake numbers. And I have to agree with the electric here 100%. I would argue that accurate range prediction is better at curbing range anxiety than longer range. Once, this was quite a few years ago now, I went on a road trip and there were mountains and it was just a bit above freezing. And I saw my range drop by about maybe, let's say, 150 kilometers, but I only drove about 100 kilometers. After that, I never ever trusted what Tesla showed me. Of course, not everyone is going to drive through a very mountainous area when it's almost freezing, but it appears that since that time, Tesla has updated how it calculates everything. It takes, for example, wind speed and direction, elevation / grade, which I guess when I went on that road trip, it did not take that into consideration. Traffic speed, average acceleration, deceleration, ambient temperature, humidity and pressure, solar load and cloud cover, initial battery percentage, initial battery temperature, gross combined vehicle weight, rolling resistance, aerodynamic, drag coefficient, HVAC consumption, vehicle-specific energy consumption, bike rack or similar, and battery preconditioning. If you have a Tesla vehicle, how is your range estimate when you drive through mountainous areas when it's cold and when there are clearly many factors that will negatively affect the range? Is it accurate? Is it good now? Or is there still an issue? I personally don't have any issues if I'm driving through flat terrain, but it's now been quite a few years since I went on that road trip through this mountainous terrain when it was cold. So I would expect that the issue is fixed now, but I haven't double checked that myself yet. This is going exactly as expected. Stellantis is offering buyouts to about half of its US salaried employees. That's over 6,400 employees. The company says it is trying to cut costs amid the transition to electric vehicles and agreeing to a new UAW contract. And we are seeing more and more stories like this one. Ford's partnership with LG Energy Solutions and one more company is scrapping plans to produce EV battery cells in Europe, which was supposed to be one of the largest battery cell plants in all of Europe. They cited concerns about the current pace of EV adoption. And there's a leak from Lucid. Supposedly they are working on this electric pickup truck. These are clay models and they better hurry up if they want to actually release this pickup truck before they go bankrupt. And Fisker just reported its earnings, or to be more precise, losses. Fisker on Monday reported a Q3 loss that was wider than Wall Street expected and said it delivered only about 1,100 Ocean electric SUVs in Q3. So they lost $91 million or 27 cents per share, but the estimate was only 19 cents. And in this case, because it's losses. Yeah, a lower number is actually better. And the revenue was only $72 million-ish versus $109 million expected. This Ocean SUV could be the vehicle to bring Fisker to the ocean of bankruptcies. While many EV automakers are canceling their plans to build new EV plants, Rivian is not. Rivian closed on a monumental land agreement last week for 1,800 acres to host its new mega site in Georgia. Construction can now begin on Rivian's $5 billion facility where its next generation R2 electric vehicles will be made. Rivian says that groundbreaking should begin in early 2024. There's a new note from Morgan Stanley. They say that there's pressure for Tesla to increase pay to its workers in the US because of the UAW union, and that the union strike is a positive development for China because the US will have higher labor costs now. Jeff has an interesting opinion with which I tend to agree. The Ford, GM, and Volkswagen announced pullbacks on EV capital expenditures and capacity are leading me to believe if they survive, their eventual re-entry to EV/autonomy will be through partnerships to share risk and make up lost ground. In other words, Tesla should add share next year and be the partner beneficiary.